Playing midfield, number 3, Amarani Contreras. Playing in the defense and a captain, number 6, Riley Anderson. Playing defender, number 10, Jessica or Sam Fagan and Bonnie Larson. And now your maroon starters on senior night. Number 4, and a captain, Meredith Schultz. Number 12, playing midfield, Maria Eide. Also playing midfield and a captain, Anna Eide. In defense, number 14, and a captain, Sarah Moore. Playing defense, number 16, Julia Shoup. Another defender, number 17, Olivia Strange. Playing forward is number 20, Abigail Coleman, who's sitting right next to me. In defense, number 22, Abigail Galloway. Playing forward and a captain, number 24, Julia Moore. Number 19, Anna Recker. And minding the nets tonight for the Maroons, Itzel Aguilar. The Maroons are coached by J.P. Pearson, and assisting J.P. is Adam Williams and Greta Gildevan. Now, if everyone would please stand for our prayer.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Mornings. They can be hectic.
Let's go!
So can your car. So to get a free pickup, drop-off, or delivery, head over to Honest Wrenches. And their loaner vehicles?
No extra charge.
Find your peace of mind with even more wonderful services.
Every vehicle that comes in gets a full visual inspection and a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty. No extra charge.
Head on over to Honest Wrenches. No extra charge, and it's how service should be.
We all love a good win.
however small or ordinary, losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
When you need to conquer the drifts on your property, get the job done your way. The Western Defender Compact Snowplow. All the professional grade features in just the right size for your mid-sized pickup or SUV. Easy to attach and easy to use. Get the performance to plow like this and finish like this. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
We welcome you from Dowling Catholic Stadium here as the Maroons 8-5 are welcoming Urbandale Jayhawks on a very big and important matchup here on Central Iowa Sports Network. My name is Juan Mendez and I'm joined alongside Justin Vorster for this match here, this varsity match. And awaiting, as we just heard actually, was singing the anthem, Abby Coleman, a senior, singing the anthem on senior night. How about that, Justin?
Yeah, unbelievable. It's senior night here for the Maroons in West Des Moines. Lots of familiar faces out there. A lot to play for here with the Dowling Catholic squad. They've had a few injuries, some key players that are out for this match. Speaking to JP earlier, John Pearson, he was hoping that most of these players will be back for state coming up in a couple of weeks' time and sub-state. So it's going to be interesting. A full-strength squad here with Urbandale, with all the players back apparently. I had a chat with Coach Jess today, and she's excited moving forward. The camaraderie, we'll get into that a little bit as we move along in the game.
Certainly so. This match that is quite important. We did hear a word, as you said, that the Maroons don't have a lot of their starters. Nonetheless, it is the last match here that they have in the regular season. Whole lots of things to play for. A lot of the players here, this is their last match. It always means a lot for them. As we approach kickoff here, the Maroons will be on the left side, from left to right, on their maroon color. Urbandale Jayhawks on white as the ball rolls, and we kick off the evening. Urbandale with the ball now, looking for an approach toward their side, but we'll see how both teams approach the match. As I mentioned, the Maroons are 8-5, 8th in the state, coached by John Pearson. The Jayhawks are 9-6.
And like I mentioned, injuries, but he has been really proud of one of the seniors, Sarah Moore. Apparently she's had an unbelievable season up till now.
That is right, as goalkeeper Aguilar Jaime there on the ball, distributing for her team. Clean block out for the throw-in for the Maroons.
More with the throw.
Urbandale set up in a 4-1-4-1 for this match, but you should expect the left back to get forward very, very often as the Maroons are putting pressure on the centre backs.
As you call there, a lot of pressure put in. That is Elizabeth Harkin on the right wing for the Maroons. Throw in made, bit of a push. Foul called, foul against Sadie Lithenthal, the sophomore. 3 goals this season. That's the number 10 for Urbandale on the midfield. And to take the free kick is going to be Anna Long. Looking for Lithenthal here. Ball spills through, is going to find the hands of Aguilar Jaime yet again.
Take note that up front, Maria Long for Urbandale Jayhawks has scored a total of 13 goals so far. this season. She's on form. She's been fit. Coach Jess is really excited about her progression so far. As you can see, the Maroons trying to build up, but can't quite get past the lines of Urbandale.
Not quite yet. Still trying to break them down as they approach again, trying to break those lines. Repossessed there by the midfield, but still the Jayhawks under pressure. Trying to go out the right flank at it. It's their number 9. Hagen on the ball. Kicked out of bounds.
Jayhawk throw in. Hagen with it.
Urbandale still with a more aggressive approach to the match as we just begin. Ball again in rotation, looking for Lithenthal. Gets a shot blocked. Ball circulating yet again. Nearing the final third of the Maroons. Missed ball there is going to be repossessed by Dowling Catholic.
Sarah Moore will throw it.
The right back position for Dowling Catholic is Sarah Moore, a senior. Another one of those players celebrated today.
It looks like the Jayhawks just managed to keep possession. They give it away more or less from the middle third to the final third. But you can see the strength they have and how compact they keep in the spaces and between the lines here, not allowing Dowling Catholic to come out at all.
Very much so. Both teams really staying close to the middle so far. Nobody really opening up the game as we've seen in the first 4 minutes of play.
Yeah, there's a lot to play for here because the Maroons they own the matchup at this point. So obviously Urbandale are looking to make up men's and a lot to play for here today. Juan?
Certainly so. Dowling Catholic showing a bit of attack there on the top right side of your screens. Ball again into play. Finds the foot of the back line of the Jayhawks. Pinball. And it's going to be an offside there called against the Maroons.
Offside Maroons.
Maroons seeking to take advantage of the counterattack. See if that strategy comes in handy again later in the match against Urbandale.
The Maroons have some technical players on the team, although JP mentioned earlier he's not too sure, missing some key players in that. But at the end of the day, you replace the players, they've got to step out, they've got to show a bit of character and prove a point that they want to start in the next game.
Very much so. That's the biggest thing, especially heading into, this is the end of the regular season. Heading into playoffs, you want to make sure you have a tip-top roster, the best you can bring to the more important matches.
Yeah, and keeping players healthy with the schedule they've had, with the amount of games per season, all squashed up into 2-3 games a week. They've got these jamborees on weekends. I mean, it's a lot for the players. Most of the training sessions are recovery sessions.
Very much so. Very tough again. The game that they're playing here tonight, as there is a throw-in in favor of the Jayhawks. Repossessed there on the top line. Starting up some movement are the Jayhawks again on the top line move there. Foul called in favor of the Jayhawks.
Foul on Maroons.
Julia Ship was a doubtful starter today, but she is starting. Talking to JP earlier, he did mention it. But she seems to be fit for this match, as you can see Urbandale launching the ball forward. And they're all white, going from right to left.
That is right, as they're fighting again for that possession. Certainly keeping it, certainly in favor of that statistic right now. But pushing forward again is the line, the middle line that we see here from the Maroons. Executing it there, rotating with the ball. Maria Eide floats now to the right side, looking for the right winger, Harkin. Harkin, a sophomore, as mentioned, 3 goals in 11 games started this season.
I do like the way the Maroons are pushing forward and squeezing into space, just locking them in higher up the field. You can see the far side, Shoop, the left back is tucked in. Just keeping it nice and narrow.
Very much so, as we see there, Taylor Mulligan, the junior, in the midfield of the Jayhawks, not letting anything go past her in that situation. Jayhawks trying to repossess with the Maroons. Steady pressure. Eide on the ball, floats one into the middle, looking for A strike there in the mid box. A shot is made, but it sneaks right on the side of the goalie. It's going to be a goal kick in favor of the Jayhawks, but the first opportunity this match.
The strike wasn't quite clean. Broughton dived. She didn't really need to dive. She could have taken a step onto her left foot, maybe shuffled across. But the shot was just, it wasn't clean enough. And there's a lot of nerves, building the confidence and just building everything here into the game.
Very much so, as a strike of wonder here. More alive team on the Maroons. An attack there could have been called for a foul slightly. She got the step over the defender of the Jayhawks, but nothing was called. But as you mentioned, a good attack there, just maybe didn't quite plant the right foot correctly on the situation.
And leaning, and there again, another chance, getting inside the defender. The defender wasn't checking her shoulder. It's those little moments that can cost you in games. I always say moments, margins in the game.
There was Taylor Mulligan again circulating a ball for the Jayhawks. A few defenders RB, ball is floated up and it's saved at the line. Urbandale almost capitalized on it. Maroons survive.
Well, that was a chance. Pillar of strength there by the Jayhawks. Lithenthal breaking through. You could see the strength and the technique as she just powered through a couple of defenders there.
Very much so, as the goalkeeper Itzel Aguilar Jaime was almost beat on that one, as it looks like it bounced off the post. Strike of luck, a strike of fortune there for Dowling Catholic, not giving up the opening goal of tonight. Here lay the Maroons, clean tackle, ball first, as they say. Maroons still going, big fight in the middle. Bodies dropping as the flank is now created by Isabel Hagen. On the ball, tries to get around the defender. Very good way to put the body there on the line, and the ball is going to go to Dowling Catholic for the throw.
And the ball's going to run on this turf, and you can see Hagen was chasing after it. Wasn't quite going to get to it, but going out for a throw in here for the all maroon Maroons here at Dowling Catholic in West Des Moines.
Very much so, very much so. Hagen trying to use the pace. Big thing, using the pace, as looking for the pass there, unable to connect. Repossessed by Madison Gall for the Jayhawks.
Madison Gall did really well there. She's the left back here for Urbandale, just sweeping across to pick up the pieces.
ID on it, down to the middle. Another shot is made again there by the Maroons. Not quite the cleanest, but a shot is a shot indeed. They're getting more comfortable as the game progresses.
Yeah, once they settle into the game, I think you'll start to see it. You know, players are nervous. They're giving the ball away. You can see the first touch. It's just eluding them. But I tell you what, there's some physicality out there. You can see the challenges going in.
Very much so, as rotating are the Maroons now on the attack. Sarah Moore on it, floating it, looking for their number 10. Number 10 on the ball and a strike, but the goalie comes in right on time. The Jayhawks stay alive as it was Dina Forbes looking for the closing in shot.
Well, that was a glorious ball there by Sarah Moore, just played over the top of the back line. The back line was just holding steady. Didn't drop when they should have, and Forbes just sprinting in behind. But what a save there by Broughton.
Very, very good save by Broughton there for sure. Forbes again on the ball. Cleared by Riley Anderson, the back line of the Jayhawks. Now with about 10 minutes in, what have you seen from both sides so far?
Nerves, but that's going to take some time. There's been chances. That's probably the best chance we've seen here so far. Both teams are being very, very cautious within the shape. You can see they're keeping it very, very compact through the middle. The back four of, if you look at the two centre backs and the left back for Urbandale, big and strong, you know, sturdy, but they should be able to read what's going on when the ball's played over the top. The Maroons, as you can see, compact as well. Just trying to win the tackle, looking to counter, just looking for that ball forward.
That ball forward there, as Forbes was looking again for an attack. Repossessed by the Jayhawks. And as you mentioned, there hasn't been a lot of width in this match so far. The main attempt was done there by the right wing, by Hagen. ID on the ball. Looking for Ainsley Maoya. Looking for it is Elizabeth Harkin, actually, this striker for Dowling Catholic. The Maroons on the ball circulating, looking for another ball for Forbes. Again, the backline of the Jayhawks coming in and cleanly sweeping that away. The pressure seems to shift from one side to another as we're seeing here in this match, but nerves settling in, opportunities start to create. 27 minutes left in the half. Sarah Moore rotating in the middle again. Another ball recovered by Taylor Mulligan. Mulligan now on the right side. Finds the pass, finds the connection there. Maria Long on the ball, cuts in on the left foot. Maria Long still on it, puts a right-footed shot and lands it on the back of the net. Maria Long, the striker, makes it 1 for the Urbandale Jayhawks, 0 for the Dowling Catholic Maroons.
The initial ball that was played in, Olivia Strang was just caught out of position in the wide area when that ball came in. Long, there's nothing stopping her. She's strong. She was shielding the ball onto her left foot. Maybe the keeper could have done something with that. Just managed to dip the ball over the keeper with her left foot. As you can see, her strengths. But she needed cover, and the cover didn't come in for the Maroons.
It didn't come in time as Forbes now is on the pace, on the attack end, entering the box. And it's going to be a clean tackle, not called by the referee. But as you mentioned there, back to that goal. Maria Long, 14 goals for number 14.
How coincident is that then, huh?
Big coincidence, huh?
But just going back to the goal, it was classic technique and dipping over the goalkeeper's head. Aguila Harmi, I mean, she didn't set herself. She kind of went to her knees. But you see, the thing is, at the end of the day, the Maroons have got the ability to make something happen.
Very much so. It's fortunate there. A call was made in favor of the Maroons as another attack was boiling up for the Jayhawks. But again, big standout player, at least from what I'm seeing so far. Taylor Mulligan on that midfield. Tall, standing center defensive mid. Every single ball in the attack circulates through her. And if it lands in the foot of Maria Long, it might as well end in a goal.
A senior with a wealth of experience as well. She's strong. And I think when you look at the way the Maroons are playing right now, they're playing very direct. They're playing into the hands of Urbandale Jayhawks. Maybe just change it up. Earlier on, Sarah Moore got the ball in behind. Maybe look at something like that in the wide areas. Be creative. Use your strengths. The technical players that can do that.
Very much so, as both teams, again, have really good records, do well in their respective divisions, and as we know, well-coached teams, we'll see how they start to switch things up as there currently is a player preparing to come in for Dowling Catholic.
Couple of things to take note here. Dowling Catholic have got to be aware of Sadie Lilienthal in the midfield, and Taylor Mulligan just sweeps everything up, okay, as he goes out for a goal kick. And then Avery Van Quantum, as you can see, the pace that's going through the midfield, through the middle. Earlier on, we saw a few occasions where they were just bursting through with pace. Maybe you got to take care of it earlier on, midfield third. Don't let them go through. And what I mean by that is a cheeky little, nudge. Yeah. Slow the game down a bit, or make it a little more compact. So the recoveries have got to be quicker and sooner.
I have to agree with that. You can tell that Urbandale right now is winning the midfield battle.
Yeah, you can see that definitely, and they're well organized. And that's why I say is when you get the ball, can you get it wide? It's a good press there by Abby.
Amairani Contreras there on the rotation, looking for Riley Anderson. Dropping back to her keeper, Molly Bratton. Madison Gall. Go on the ball, but it does sneak out of bounds. Good pressure there by Heidi.
I don't think Gall wanted it. She was facing her own goal. She wasn't half-turned, looking at the field. It's an easy press to get onto.
Not too long ago, midfielder Elizabeth Brick did come in for the Maroons, trying to spark something again on offenses. As we saw there, a good bit of effort by Heidi and putting some more pressure, and again, putting pressure there on the corner, getting her teammate corner, the first one of the match.
Yeah, you can see the goal. The centre-backs are going up for this. Let's see what they've produced off the training field, if they can produce something here. As you can see the movement off, I think that's Abby Galloway coming off short. Oh, it was Julia Shoup. My apologies.
Charlotte Carmichael floats one up. Good ball. It is struck a little awkwardly and cleared again there by the Jayhawks, but ball is still trying to be repossessed by either team. The Maroons really fighting for it, with the Jayhawks now creating on the attack. Brick disrupting the counter. Rotating around the foot of the goal scorer today, Maria Long, but the Maroons had to deal with that one cleanly. Just kick it for a throw-in for the Jayhawks.
Hagen has the ball.
Another throw-in for the visiting side. And to play the Maroons. Just waiting for that one to trickle down out of bounds and for a goal kick. And in the hands of Aguilar Jaime.
Well, you can see on the throw-ins and set pieces, on the far side, deep inside the Maroon half, they're going to go for long because she can hold the ball up. Maybe get somebody in front of her just to shield it away. And you know, maybe put a bit more pressure. Pressure from behind, pressure from the front.
And that pressure seems to be working, very much so. So what they need to do to get the team energies back up with, 21, almost about the half-point mark of this first half. Big header there. The presence in the midfield, how much does that mean for a team?
It means a lot because games are won in the midfield. And if you're breaking lines through the midfield, it's creating overloads going forward in central areas, mainly central areas. I think what JP might need to look at is trying to force them into the wide areas. We haven't seen much down our near side here on the left. It's gone to the right, naturally. Is maybe try and come up with a plan, even now at half-time, and try and figure that out. Just get the players in to force it away. That looks like it might be a foul. No. Referee's been
very lenient.
Very lenient today.
Very lenient, as they say. No notable calls as of now. There was a potential penalty call, a couple fouls that were called, but again,
I was going to go back to that penalty call, actually. From our angle, it's different. Obviously, the officials have a closer angle out there.
Maria Long.
Keeper facing towards the goal.
Very much so. Anchoring the ball, creating a rotation. Lithenthal on it. Looking for her right back, unable to connect it.
So when the ball's played into Long's feet, okay, so she's already in her third, basically. So middle third going into her third of the field. But when she's receiving, she's pressed the covering defender square. And those balls that are played in behind, around the corner, they've got to watch out for that because that's the type of player she is. They need to tuck him behind and take care of that.
Very much so. If you're an attacker, you're doing a run, you have to be facing them already.
Yeah.
Being prepared for that. It's Maria Long fighting for the ball. Recovered there, but a foot is put in by Heidi. Mind you, that is Maria Heidi. Her sister is also playing on the team, number 12, Anna Heidi. Two seniors.
We've got two seniors on the Urbandale. We've got seniors on Dowling Catholic as well. So you look at it, we've got the Heidi's.
Very much
at
so.
Dowling Catholic. And we have the Moors, but one Moor's injured. She's just got a slight knee knock. Hopefully, I spoke to her today. Hopefully, she's going to be back for sub-states.
Certainly so. And as well on the Jayhawk side, you have Maria Long and Anna Long. There you go.
Mulligan will strike it.
To take the free kick, it's going to be Taylor Mulligan.
Just looking at the shape here, they need to cover that space, but I believe it go long or towards the goalkeeper. There you go.
Floated up. Headed it still into danger. A shot by the attacker there, still floated up and in play. Lithenthal on the ball, keeps it in, does not quite keep it in. It's going to be a goal kick for Dowling Catholic.
Galloway with it.
Good chance there on the set piece. Definitely a team that has a lot of height and can take advantage of those set pieces. As we see Sadie Lithenthal coming out for the Jayhawks. Big piece on the midfield. And in is going to be Alexandra King.
So Alexandra King has come back from an injury. Speaking to Coach Jess today, she was going to get limited minutes, but was just going to get her in just to get a feel of it again. Like I said earlier, she's excited to have two key players back in the lineup.
It's good to see a good key player, as you said, come back, especially she has 5 assists this season. Midfield battle there, repossessed by the Jayhawks, trying to get their second goal of the match. And the rotation there was the Jayhawks attacker there, but in possession there, hard stop, recovery, and a big fight there between the defender of the Jayhawks, but the ball back for a throw-in for the Maroons.
Yeah, ID was dispossessed there by Lumley. You can see the physical presence with Urbandale Jayhawks, and ID was fighting to win it back. But you can just see this. You see how compact this is, and you see how it's been dictated by Mulligan there in the midfield.
Mulligan bounces that ball onto for another throw-in, and as you said, wherever the ball is, both teams are kind of shifting in, but they got to take advantage of the space. We'll see what the Maroons can create on the far side, is slowly trying to.
You see, if we look at this, you got Long, right? I would maybe look at just pushing the left back up a little more. And they got one of the holding midfielders in there. Now this is the opportunity here for one of the centre backs to get in front of Long, out of the picture of the viewers, and bring the other centre back round. Because this is where the play is right now. See, if she can receive that ball at feet, and I'm thinking ahead on the counter-attack, that if that's one, it's there. But they can commit forward. They can commit players forward as well, can the Maroons.
Very much so. That commitment forward is the way to get a goal, especially if you're down. You need the ability to tie this game before the half, bring something in for the second, but as we have 16 minutes left, the Maroons are trying to form an attack here with a newly substituted player, sharing the number 10 actually with Forbes. Expecting the players from the Downing back line to push up a little bit, as this ball is very much in.
Because you can see the left back can be inverted and higher up the field, take care of anything in that area there in the space. So as the ball comes out, they'll win everything they're going to goal. Right now, she can win that ball, you see? And that's out of the pictures. The ball came in as we were talking about.
As we said, there is the clearance, the Jayhawks, but here's a chance for Dowling Catholic to repossess, but first there is Maria Long. Pinball again on the midfield. Big fight, but it does land on the foot of Hagen on the right side. It tries to do a cut in. Bit of dribbling skill there by Hagen. Good job rotating the ball, finding space in the middle. Hard step in by the Maroons, but again, possessed. Jayhawks on the attack. Hagen, like a magnet with the ball, still keeps it in. Still in possession. Jayhawks rotating. Big clearance there, but pressure continues. Urbandale still on it.
Yeah, the initial ball that was played in by Hagen, it was going away from her, just put a little bend on it. And if you could get it just into the wide area half space, then she's running onto it to cross.
Hagen, the sophomore, has 7 goals and 5 assists this season. Started every single match. Very dangerous on the right flank as a person's found there, and a shot is made, but it goes way out of bounds. Again, a good job on Urbandale stopping the ball there for her teammate. A shot was made, but again, didn't quite get there.
You can see this, Galloway's taking the goal kicks here for the Maroons. I wonder if the goalkeeper, Aguilar Jaime, is injured, or maybe JP's opting for a different option.
That might be the case. They do have a senior goalkeeper in Grace Kottmeyer who might not be playing today, as Aguilar Jaime is a freshman player.
Not bad for a freshman. She's got some years ahead of her. You know, some growth and development when you look at it.
As on the attack is Van Quatham in the middle, looking for Maria Long, but it is cleared, and it does favor, as it appears, the Jayhawks. The ball did ricochet off the Jayhawks player there, but referee is calling it for it.
We're just looking at the matchups. The matchup on our near side here was Sarah Moore up against Van Quatham. Sarah Moore's kind of got the up on her at this point athletically, and Van Quatham hasn't quite got past it. But where it's happening is on the far side with Hagen. She's twisting and turning. She's a little menace, that's for sure. She's
very much so. An engine on the right wing position for the Jayhawks, as a ball trickles down again. Looking for some offense are the Maroons. in possession. Smartly lets it go for the throw-in.
Out of your picture, you can see Avery Galloway picking up long. Just let her drift into the space, and she's in the space between the lines, but she's the only one. Now she's got it, as you can see them picking up facing goal. That's something that needs to be taken care of.
And there's the pace of Hagen on the through ball from long. Hagen floats one in, lands comfortably on the hands of the goalkeeper. As you mentioned, there's the danger of that through ball.
It was a difficult ball to cross. She should have taken a touch just to get her hips around that ball, getting the ball into the penalty area. As you can see, there wasn't enough power around it. Stood foot wasn't right. What a challenge there in the midfield.
Very much so. Finnegan, the presence again in the midfield for Urbandale, currently giving them and holding them a lead in this match with 12 minutes to go. As a throw in. Ball again in possession in the middle, trying to keep it in. It's going to be a throw in for the Maroons.
I'd say physically, Urbandale Jayhawks are winning the battles in the midfield. And that's dictated by Taylor Mulligan. As you can see, as a leader, she's constantly communicating and telling players, here, there, positioning them.
Very much so. As another clear, you would say, by the Maroons, but on the attack and heavy on the attack. And on the throw-in, Maria Long, goal scorer for today, opening the tally. Fight in the middle by the Jayhawks again, very physical.
Unless there's been a switch, you don't really want Maria Long taking the throw-ins on our near side in the middle third. If the quick throw's not on, if she's got quick throws on, go, no problem. But leave it for the left back or someone else and then reorganize.
Very interesting decision made there, as you said, and good recovery there. Is another smart, good clear by the defense. A good defensive showcase we've seen so far. A lot of very explosive attacks, good ways to close it down we've seen so far.
Yeah, but you've just seen there what Coleman's done is put a bit of pressure on Anna Long at the back, forcing her to play the ball out of bounds. Now, maybe that's something that the Maroons need to do, is put a little more pressure on the back four on when they get the cue on when to press. So if they're facing their goal, let's go. If it's a bouncing pass, that's your cue to go. If they're comfortable, just hang. Wait, let them be comfortable and we regroup.
That's a little bit of what we saw, that more comfortable and more relaxed play in the first 10 minutes, and the next 20, a lot of action. The action definitely picked up as ball again, trickling down for a throw-in for Dowling Catholic.
Sarah Moore will take the Maroon throw-in.
But you can see how the Maroons are set up more in a 4-5-1 with Forbes up front.
There is two number 10s on the Maroon side.
Sager will take it. Entering the game for the Maroons, number 5, Diana Alvarado.
As for Dowling Catholic, Diana Alvarado coming in for Forbes at the striker position.
At the throw.
The Jayhawks are now repossessing. Finnegan on the ball, left-footed pass. Finds the way over teammate, but the ball lands on the foot of the back line of the Maroons. Bit of pressure there again, Maria Long on it. Break in the middle. It's going to be a throw-in, gets a throw-in for Dowling Catholic. Less than 10 minutes to go. Maroons in possession, trying to create out the back line here. As we see, ball floated up, taken care of by Urbandale. Butt kicked again, cleanly for a throw-in.
An easy one there for Gore. Sarah Moore played the ball forward and she takes the throw in quickly. Again, the header's not dealt with by Gore. Now, technically, could she have brought that up? Yeah, maybe I'd say she could have brought that ball down.
Interesting matchup there, as you mentioned. Gall has done a very good job, and she's actually facing, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Coleman, who sang the national anthem for us today on this evening.
Unbelievable, and she's on the field, just getting stuck in as well. There's more with the throw-in.
Who else? Finnegan. on the clearance from the box, and it's going to be a goal kick for the Urbandale Jayhawks, who, it can be said, they're leading in possession and opportunities. In goals, of course, Downing has created a lot, but they haven't been able to quite finish their chances.
Yeah, and you can see a little momentum swing here. 8 minutes. 8 minutes to go on the clock. And what I've seen in high school soccer is goals are scored in the 8 minutes period to halftime, and then the next 5 to 8 minutes. Look at that tackle there. Julia Moore did well, just blocking the tackle. Long's a difficult player to deal with.
Big battle there we're seeing between the striker and the center back. Galloway winning it there on that opportunity, but it's still. And as we mentioned, the other striker, the other number 10 currently on the pitch is Ramirez. Ramirez for Dowling Catholic.
I'm going to have a word with JP. He's running out of jerseys.
2 number 10s.
Well, every team needs 2 number 10s, don't they?
That's true. That's true. Big part of the team is looking for Ramirez. Ramirez there on the ball, looking for the pace. Just came in recently, but unable to get to the ball first. Still, if they can take advantage of this time in possession, the field has opened up a little bit. Dowling Catholic rushing for the throw-in.
It looks like the strategy's changed a bit, play a little more direct. As you can see, the pace there of Ramirez. But it was well covered by Urbandale, swept up. If it's going to go direct, it's got to be with a purpose. Can they combine into feet and have somebody working off striker's feet, lay off? But you can tell the difference. Ramirez and Forbes in, but both of them are the same type of player. They like to go in behind.
Very, very much so. As again, Maria Long.
So Maria Long's been picked up by Avery Galloway, and it's going to be a tussle out there. You can see. I think it's a man-on-man job that she's been given responsibility to. However, here's a story for you, Juan. The Galloway sisters. You got Abby over here at Dowling Catholic, and her sister Avery plays up at Valley.
In Valley.
Yeah,
I see.
Abby made the choice to come here. You can see it was a good choice for her. She loves it here. So I tell you what, great family. Both kids are strong, tough. I've coached both of them in the past. Just great kids.
As we see now, coming in for the Jayhawks, number 4, Abigail Cochran, freshman, 3 goals, 1 assist in 6 starts this season. Mostly a substitution player, as they say, maybe a super sub, coming in for the Jayhawks. But I like that you mentioned that in the back line, a big, tough assignment in Maria Long. But as you said, a lot of man marking, a lot of that one-on-one battle that we like to see in the sport.
You see Cochran getting a first touch, a handball there by the Maroons in the midfield. Van Quatham has come off. Quatham has come off for a break. What I do like about this game so far, unlike some other high school games that I've noticed, is the substitutions are more limited at certain times of the game, when to put the player in. Some of the schools do multiple substitutions, on, off, and you can't really get a rhythm of the game. So I do like that fact and how the momentum, there's been a swing, and I think it's more to rest players at this certain point, with 4 minutes coming up to give them a rest at halftime as well.
I have to agree. It's been a good, energizing game from both sides. A lot of chances, a lot of tough battles. As we said, a lot of one-on-one in those matchups. But what do you expect to see from either side before the end of the half with about 4 minutes left? What do you expect from either side?
Well, I know the Maroons don't want to concede another goal and go in at 2-0. 1-0, they've got a chance. I think that Urbandale, the Jayhawks, just need to continue playing the way they're playing and mustn't lose concentration. As soon as they do that, one lapse in behind, Ramirez could be onto it, and it's dangerous. So the 2 centre-backs, like we saw earlier when Sarah Moore played the ball over the top, Forbes onto it, the 2 centre-backs were napping. Get side on and drop 2 yards. Both teams, I think, will be a bit cautious here, Juan.
Oh, yeah, definitely so. As we're seeing that tonight, and as we mentioned, a Maroons team that is down a lot of their key players as well. able to withstand the forcing attack by the Jayhawks as they're currently on the attack and on the throw-in.
Also looking at the Maroons, JP's very cautious of some of the players that are carrying niggling injuries, and one of them is Julia Shoup, who we spoke about today when I had a conversation with him. So he's concerned he can't lose any more players.
Very important to keep all players healthy, as we see Galloway there. Trying to communicate for it clear. Finnegan on the ball in the middle. Recovery still in possession of the Jayhawks. Another hard challenge there recovered. Heidi on the ball now. Circles down looking for a counterattack are the Maroons. Possessed in the middle of the field looking for Ramirez there making a run. But again, Finnegan to intercept that ball.
Take note. Mulligan lost the ball, and that's probably her first bad touch she's had of the game. Lost the ball in the Maroons' half. Where was she to win it and block it? Back in her half. See that recovery. It says a lot, and character of leadership. What a ball.
It always says a lot as Maria Long looking for it. Takes a bit of a heavy touch. You called it. It was a fantastic ball. A little too heavy off the right foot, but a great chance by the Jayhawks.
A dangerous pass there. Aguilar Jaime was in the right place at the right time. Starting position was high. But the thing is, that's the ball. You've got to be careful of it. Long will get onto that and punish you.
Some footwork there, guys. We saw looking for a pass for Ramirez, but the ball is going to go as a goal kick. But I do like that you mentioned that you definitely, a trait that you must have in a goalkeeper is decisiveness. Either you go out or you stay. You have to be able to make a quick decision, get to that ball, and she did so in that chance.
Yeah, absolutely, because Long was on her way. Another stride and that's in. But the pass that was played through for her, and this is the thing, the movement of the players off the ball from in between the lines. For example, Long just peeled off the shoulder of the centre back, I think it was Shoup, and in between Galloway and got through. Starting positions of goalkeepers are very, very important.
As we have seen for sure that Aguilar Jaime has been tested a little bit more than Molly Bratton tonight. Keeping the score, keeping her team just down at 1 after a lot of chances by the Jayhawks. There's a foul called in favor of the Maroons with about 1 minute to go in the first half.
See that precision pass there from Sarah Moore into feet of a teammate. Defender was too tight. The turn forced the foul. This is an opportunity now. This is your chance to tie the game up going into halftime.
Big chance and a very wide approach. There's not really a bunch of players in one certain place. Everybody's kind of among the same line.
I think this is when they need. There's 3 players at the back marking no one.
About 30 seconds to go.
Just get them all in there.
Sarah Moore on the ball, takes a kick, floats one up, slowly comes down, but it doesn't quite get there. Solid attempt by Sarah Moore there with 20 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, it was more one. It wasn't driven in at all, and that's a distance. You know, like maybe get some other players up, get more bodies in the box, and dink one in behind, force the centre backs, the back line to drop, because it was quite high. It was on the edge of the box. Oh, here we go.
Chance could have been a goal late for the Maroons, but the final horn does blow, and we're going into halftime. 1-0 lead, Urbandale Jayhawks on it. With that, we're going to go into break for a halftime, but we'll be back with more action here on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of Central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more Central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
Our year-end sales event is going on now at DeArmond Automotive, Knoxville.
With over 60 new vehicles in stock on the ground, you can take delivery now.
Every new Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, and all DeArmond certified used vehicles are tagged with one low sale price.
DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster? Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should.
We welcome you back from Dowling Catholic as the Maroons are facing the Urbandale Jayhawks, visiting here and winning tonight so far 1-0 at the half. My name is Juan Mendez. I'm on play-by-play, joined alongside Justin Vorster. Now, Justin, we spoke a little bit about this in the first half. Tell me a little bit about Urbandale's coach, Coach Jess.
Oh, Coach Jess, the alumni from Urbandale. Had a good chat with Jess today. This is her second year as the head coach, but she's previously an assistant coach for 16 years under Coach Eckhoff. She's alumni. She played for Urbandale. And this is why we talk about the loyalty within programs and how ex-students come back. She played for Urbandale from 2001 to 2004. She was a freshman when she scored her first goal at state. When she played for them, they went to state 3 times out of 4. The last time they were at state was 2009. She's hoping to get back to that this year. And looking at this, they could possibly do it. Here was the thing as well. Chatting to her on the phone, the charisma and personality, it was vibrant. And you could tell that right now, as we watch that half, you can see it flowing through the players and the leadership on the team and how certain players are controlling the game. Like you've got Long up front, you've got Mulligan at the midfield.
Very much so.
I mean, it's just all controlled in the leadership. Now, she went on to play at Central College collegiately, came back as an assistant. She is... Listen to this one. She's also an elementary school teacher in the Urbandale district. So that says a lot. Now let's talk about Rachel Vander Hart. She's the assistant coach, goalkeeper coach, assistant coach, played club here. I've been around her in the training environment, game environment. The commitment and desire, arriving to training early, doing extra sessions, all of that now is infiltrating here. Not just that, Rachel was also coached by Coach Jess. So you see the loyalty with these ex-players coming back. Rachel also went on to play at Iowa State University. And you can see it. They're all back in here, and they're making something of it. Now, who knows? One of these players out here might be on the coaching staff come another 8 years' time. You never know.
You never know. As you mentioned, that loyalty, that alma mater kind of thing as they treat it here, coming back and always seeing your ground where you once played, bringing that team so much greatness, and now bringing the team so much greatness and a lot of players now, as we see for Urbandale, who are, making a really good performance here so far.
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed, to be honest with you. The shape has been well organized. You can see they depend a lot on physicality, and then they've got certain players that can, just with a touch or a pass, split open any defense, like we saw there with the Maroons, and the ball was played through for Long. Just caught napping at the back. Galloway and Long are battling away. Here's my thing. I still see when the ball is deep inside the Urbandale half, you've got to. I would, in that situation, if the fullbacks haven't gone forward, or if one's gone, you've still got 2, 3. You've got 4 players at the back marking one. Invert a fullback, push her a little bit higher, staggered it. So you've got like 2 6s. Ball comes out, you're winning the ball. So you screen the ball going into Long, deal with that, sort that out. You're winning the ball closer to the opponent's goal and going to goal, rather than balls out. Now you're breathing heavily, and you've got to recover to try win the ball back.
And I'm sure Maria Long knows that, trying to attack the same defenders every chance that she gets on those runs. As we saw, the strides easily beat a lot of the defenders there by the Maroons.
Yeah, we throw the ball coming in from the midfield again. Pressure. If there's no pressure on the ball, drop off and get compact as quickly as possible. Cut off the passing lanes. But that's got to come through the lines in communication. We saw it with Urbandale with Mulligan. She was controlling the midfield. And you can see it, how they're winning it. She loses the ball in Dowling's half. Her recovery is straight back in and wins a block pass. Those are the little details. I look at little details like that. For me, that's the difference. It's a massive difference.
And it's making the difference right now, as we see on the leader, the Jayhawks. But we asked ourselves a little bit this before the end of the half, what each team has to do, to either step up or continue what they're doing. What is your outlook for the second half? What does Dowling Catholic, what do the Maroons have to do to get back in this match?
I'd say they would have to try and pull one or two of the midfielders out of possession. I think the counter-attack is going to be the key for them. Because when you've got Lilienthal going forward, Long, Hagen, you've committed one extra midfielder out. Lumley sitting in a little bit, but she's also committing. Taylor Mulligan is sitting in the midfield. You win that ball. How can you expose them in areas of the field, in the wide areas? And I think that's going to be key. Pinpoint the side you're going to go. The two centre-backs are strong. The left-back has been strong, Gore. So, I think that's going to be the key. Urbandale, just keep playing the way you're playing.
Keep playing the way you're playing. But with that, we're going to go into a short break prior to the second half. Stay tuned on the Central Iowa Sports Network for more action.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of Central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the whole difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more Central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
DeArmond certified used vehicles aren't the same as the rest.
Every DeArmond certified vehicle receives a 175-point inspection and comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and DeArmond Care. Wheel, dent, windshield repair, repel paint and windshield protection, and a full tank of fuel.
Buy with confidence, knowing you made a wise decision with DeArmond Certified.
Find DeArmond certified used vehicles at DeArmondFord.com.
We welcome you back from Dowling Catholic as the Maroons are facing the Urbandale Jayhawks visiting and currently winning 1-0. We just came back from halftime. The players are coming back into their positions. My name is Juan Mendez, joined alongside Justin Forster. We talked a little bit about the coaches on both sides, what to expect for the second half. The main story right now is Dowling trying to come back and trying to not be on 3 losses in a row as they're trying to get back on track, keeping that 8-5 record, trying to improve it as their 8th on the state and trying to get a top spot in their division as well. We'll talk about that for sure as we have Maria Long, the scorer for the Urbandale Jayhawks, on the ball in the middle of the pitch. Finnegan on the middle. Remind you, Urbandale Jayhawks on the white, going from left to right. Dowling Catholic on the right, from right to left on their maroon color. No handball there called.
Yeah, it wasn't intentional. She kept her elbow in, her hand was in. The handball rule is so indecisive sometimes. It's hard to, I don't know how the officials do it, but it's when you actually reach for the ball. But if it's not intentional, it's not a handball.
Yeah, maybe he tucked it in right on time there, as Hagen, the number 9 for Urbandale, has been very active in this match so far in that first half. Almost got a goal and a couple assists of her own, as Forbes there looking for Ramirez. Far side, Urbandale repossessed by the Maroons. Big fight up top, and Dowling now seeking to dominate the middle a little more with Brick, who came in really, really early in the first half. A middle piece there that could be beneficial for the Maroons as Hagen steals the ball. Hagen still under pressure. Hagen fighting for it. Hagen still on the right flank. Faced by 2 and kicked out of bounds by the Maroon back line.
Hagen, like I said in the first half, they got to eliminate the ball coming out here. As you can see, she was pressed by 2 players. She's a fighter. She's just at your ankles all the time when she loses the ball. But when she's got it, she's got some silky skills, as you can see here.
As you can see there with that bit of skill. Another throw for Urbandale. A lot of players to highlight we've talked about so far from Urbandale. At practically every side of the field, on defense, on the middle, offense, as a foul was called there in favor of Dowling. A little bit of breathing room as we just begun the second half.
Aguilar Jaime could play out the back. She's got options. There you go. It's a good option into Sarah Moore on the far side.
We're through ball now, looking for Ramirez. We know she's got pace. Good recovery there. Good way to track that ball is the defense of Urbandale.
The pace was matched up there by the cover on the far side.
As the ball spills, but nobody's making a run there. It trickles down for Molly Broughton.
Broughton confident. You see how she was playing out of the back. Didn't panic, gave it back straight back into her centre back.
Very calm and collected, as we saw there. Maria Long on it, fighting on that midfield. Putting good pressure and, again, regains the ball for her team.
Maroons have just got to figure out how to get a hold of this ball, create space and time for themselves. It just seemed to be giving it away, as you can see the foul on the far side.
From here, it did seem like maybe poked away and got a good hold of the ball, but it might have had some leg in there as well, creating that
Yeah,
foul.
both players going for the ball. Hard for us to see from here. Maybe I'll give the assistant referee a call on the other side, see what he thought.
We'll cut him some slack for now.
Yeah, Long here on the ball.
As he said, Long on the ball. She is basically everywhere. We've talked about this. Break on the ball, now trying to create a counter now. Ramirez on the ball on the left wing, but the ball gets out of bounds. But that's what you want to see, that liveliness, even if it's 3 attackers for the Maroons. It seems to work in creating and helping the defenders move up, as we talked about in the first half.
Yeah, just squeeze the field up. The type of pass just wasn't played correctly, the incorrect weight, maybe the outside of the foot, the left foot bending, going straight forward on a linear movement, more a vertical movement.
Bit of a late call as Finnegan was fouled in the midfield, rotating a ball that led on to the attack. It was called after all. It's going to be a free kick for the Jayhawks.
You can see the Maroons have got Forbes and Ramirez back in, with Forbes just sitting in the hole.
Real Long on the attack, gets a header in. Trying to look for somebody in the middle. Ball does bounce off the attacker's foot, but a corner is given for the visiting side. That was Kylie Lumley, the junior.
It was a good tackle there as well, as Kylie Lumley was coming in a dangerous position. I like to call that half space in the penalty area, the red zone. It's where most of the assists come from, about 80 to 90%.
Van Quatham, good floating ball, but it does go a little bit too far off her foot. It's going to be a goal kick for the Maroons.
Hit too flat. She's got to whip her foot around that ball, get a little more bend away from the goal.
A lot of people ask this. I even ask it myself. What kind of ball do you want from a corner?
Depends what you're working on in training, to be honest with you. I I prefer to put pressure on the keeper with the first 2 or 3 corners, so an in-swinger right in onto the goalkeeper is what I look for. And you have a couple of variations, short corners and one across the penalty area, because if you do in-swingers and it's onto the keeper, the opponents are going to think you're going to do it again. You have players placed at the top of the penalty area and you change it up, dribble ball across.
Almost like a pitch in baseball.
Yeah, so you're not predictable all the time, you know.
Very much so. Got to switch it up, catch everybody off guard, make sure they don't know what to prepare for whenever the next one comes by. As Urbandale still on the press. Contreras. Ramirez on the ball. Dispossessed. Again, the Maroons retain the ball, fighting for it. However, by the Jayhawks. In the middle, Finnegan takes the ball in. Beats one, gets a pass in, and might have been fouled there a little bit too late again, but the ball continues for the Maroons. Another through ball looking for Forbes. Forbes and Ramirez, 2 strikers, 2 number 10s. Maroons still on possession, far side.
What the Maroons need to be aware of.
Carmichael there looking for Ramirez. Ramirez on the shot, but it doesn't quite land. Nonetheless, good opportunity there by Dowling Catholic.
You can see the defender just did enough there just to get across Ramirez wide. Very difficult ball to strike, especially in that area. Didn't have many options in the actual penalty area. And those are moments, communication, hold on to the ball. Issue aware, pressure's coming in. Deep on the goal line. Maybe bring it back with the outside of the foot and restart.
A lot of those, it's really what's working for Dowling, those kind of through balls, those passes. A few of them don't work and are very well dealt by the Jayhawks, but once in a while you get that ball, you get that chance. One of those just might land. As we have 32 minutes to go in the second half and in the match. Pinball there in the midfield. Big physical game again by the Jayhawks, rotating on the middle again, pacing down, has plenty of options. Hagen is on the right side on the flank. Might look for a cross here as hard challenge. Very well done by the Dowling defense.
And that cover was critical there on Hagen, that's for sure.
Lithan Hall there, try to get the ball, and the ball now in the hands of Aguilar Jaime.
Keep looking.
That final tackle was critical. That was a moment in the game. But first of all, that shouldn't be allowed. A midfielder breaking lines on the dribble in between 2. I didn't see a recovery run from either one of those, to be honest with you. And she was allowed to go. You've got to carry on going. And that's when I talk about the cheeky little niggle.
Those little things
I hate
mean
to
a lot.
say the foul, but it works sometimes without being guarded.
It's true. Midfield's, that's why it's one of the key positions, moving forward, but also tracking back, getting the ball back, or even making passes more difficult for the attacking team. Contreras now to do the throw for the Jayhawks. The sophomore floats the ball up. Contreras now on the ball. Close quarters passing for the Jayhawks. Finnegan on it now, rotating. Pass 1, pass 2. Finnegan on the left foot puts a great ball now on the far side there, looking for a cross and cleanly deals with it. Gets a corner, but it is in favor of Urbandale Jayhawks.
Every Van Quantum was trying to get that ball onto her right foot. She had the option to take the defender on into that half space area. Use your left foot when it's on, just cutting across. But she wanted it on her right foot, as you could see. Got the corner out of it. Let's see what happens from here.
Very particular approach on the corner here. Low, driven, cleared by Dowling Catholic. Does not want to deal with that. The back line of the defense, but again, pushing out, trying to move everybody forward are the Maroons. Doing so, looking for Forbes. Forbes has Ramirez. Looking for the pass. Could have been a really good one, but again, Jayhawk defense staying solid. Looks like the 2 targets right now, certainly so for Dowling Catholic, are Forbes and Ramirez. Get the through ball going, try to expand, but again, the middle isn't quite there for the Maroons.
Yeah, but as you can see, as the ball transitions, they're trying to play a long. You see how quickly they close down in the midfield, and they're trying to play the long ball from deep forward. But you can see how Ramirez and Forbes are just smothered. They've got Mulligan, the 2 center backs, they tucked in. I would look into wide areas, to be honest with you. I'd try and change it up a bit. Look at the different options.
Taylor Mulligan has been fantastic.
And that's the type of pass you've got to step. So that's the cue now. The pass is behind the left back. The rest of the team, we're talking about Dowling now, needs to step up and squeeze. Get there quickly.
Hagen on the ball.
Raise the commitment level. Raise the commitment level.
Very much so.
I know JP's a very demanding coach as well.
It's a big thing. When a player receives a touch, it's good to have that first step on them once the ball rebounds. Key thing in fighting for possession is Hagen does exactly so there. Not giving any bit of space for Ramirez, who was there in the midfield. Throw for Dowling Catholic. Mulligan there on the header. Maroons again fighting for the ball, but it's Lithenhall on the ball. Looking for Maria Long, doesn't quite get there. Big fight, big challenge again. Very physical. Still on the current hands of Hagen for the throw.
Hagen with it.
Strange and Galloway are doing a lot better this second half. They had their work cut out for them. Only one goal, but you can see they're a lot more tighter. Strange and Galloway.
Ramirez there, trying to pace to that ball, but doesn't quite get there. It seems like she's trying to drop a lot into our near side, trying to maybe wrap around with those through balls, but not quite finding the diagonal.
That came down with snow on it. Just a slip out of the hands.
Like a free throw.
Acknowledging each other, laughing about it.
Very much so. As the ball was going there a little bit too far for Forbes. Not too content with the outcome of that attack, but it's going to be a comfortable bit of time for Dowling Catholic there as they try to regain and create some attacking now, expanding the field. Their defenders pushed up all the way to the middle as we were 27 minutes away from the conclusion of this match.
So there's been a switch here. You can see. I would actually look at bringing Sarah Moore onto the left-hand side, to be honest with you. The pace match up with Hagen. She'll keep up with that. She likes to get forward, plus she can cut it onto her right foot. Predominantly, she's right-footed. As you see her coming in to pick up the ball, the positioning there is good. Inverted.
Really good. Moving up, pushing forward, fighting for the ball there was Sarah Moore. Still gets her team the ball, but Lithenthal on it. Finding Hagen. Hagen trying to get a ball there, but Heidi's on it now, rotating. They're number 13 on the left side, looking for options. Possessing the ball, still keeping it. Trying to push it forward, but a hard challenge on the middle from the Jayhawks. Ball is going to remain with Dowling Catholic.
Throw in. 80 with it.
Maria Heidi putting in some work, and Ramirez trying to fight for possession here. Good way to put the body there for the Urbandale Jayhawks.
See the matchup with Sager, the Maroons left back with Hagen. As you can see the ball coming into Hagen. Just with a little flick there, but you could see Mulligan coming in to pick up the pieces, but it's well collected there on the far side there by Carmichael.
And it's true, you did mention about that matchup. Sagar is a freshman. Hagen has a little bit more experience, but still only a sophomore. But, hey, that shows a lot of promise for Urbandale and the player that they certainly want to keep with the presence she has had in this match so far. But, again, a good matchup, as you mentioned.
Yeah, and it's a position where Julia Shipp used to play, and she's the one carrying the injury. I don't think it's worth playing her at this point. If it's been taken care of there by the freshman, the underclassmen. She was nervous in the first half, but she seems to have settled in the game.
As we saw there, Maria Long fighting for a ball yet again, trying to repossess and create an attack for her team. Ends up fouling Dowling Catholic. Less than 25 minutes to go here. Mulligan always on it first. Brick trying to possess it for the Maroons. Lithenthal on it, and it's fouled hard on the transition. The ball was very far away, but again, a late challenge and arrival from the Maroon side. Urbandale on the attack.
But you can see as the direct free kick basically played into the hands of Urbandale. I mean, they're just winning everything there. They've got the strength to do it. It's time maybe to change things up. Maybe Ramirez in a wide area on our near side, testing the right back there for Urbandale. I think that might be a good option as well.
It very much might be, as we've seen her kind of naturally shift to that position as on the attack now. Jayhawks, on the ball is floated up, looking for Maria Long. Heidi trying to get there first, but first is Contreras. Contreras floats one up a little bit too far away. It just lays for a goal kick for the home side.
Contreras did really well to get there quickly. She's quite pacey. She's nippy, but she got there. But she had the extra yardage to get there into that space. She was there already. Another 8 to 10 yards forward. Would have been 5 yards. Save your energy. I'm all about that, to be honest with you, Juan.
Got to,
just
especially
the positional details.
Especially dealing with two people in Ramirez with the pace and also with Heidi on the near side, dealing with both of those attackers there. Need a lot of fitness for that, for sure. Is this Ramirez trying to look for a ball as the Jayhawks quickly tracking back and earn a throw in for their side. Very well done there by the back line.
I'm surprised Broughton didn't get involved there because she was an option, but you could see the pace and the cover of the back line stepping in there to win the ball with ease. I think Broughton should have spoken to her centre back and along, just give her some communication, help her out, because she could have taken it. We can see she can play with her feet, play out the other way.
Very much so. As we see a little bit of light on the attack there by the Maroons, trying to circulate through Forbes, looking for a hopeful shot there. Nonetheless, Maroons still trying to fight for possession in the middle. Ball zips through. Mulligan. Miss pass there. Miss opportunity on the rotation by the Jayhawks. And we're going to have a substitution for the Maroons.
Number 3, Sophia Provenza.
Sophia Provenza, the sophomore, is coming in on the defense now.
I think that's Ramirez gone out to the right. So she's going to play in the 7 position, wide on the left-hand side, and it looks like that on our near side here, Sophie Provenza just come into the game. She's listed here as a defender as well, sophomore.
We'll see what the fresh legs can do on that side as the Maroons trying to generate an attack there yet again. But how do you feel about that move as she is on the left-hand side? We've seen Ramirez trying to work that left-hand side as well against Contreras. What do you think could happen from this?
I think it's a tactical move, to be honest with you. Ramirez's pace to test goal on the far side, because she is quick, just needs to clean up a bit technically on the ball, but you can see she's a threat. Now, depends what the instruction is here, Juan. Does she hold the line? Like in those situations, that the movement was more inverted and linear, instead of maybe stretch it more. She's coming towards the ball.
Liventhal on the ball now, trying to pace past Segar, gets a shot in, and a great save there by Aguilar. Jaime quickly deals with it, but a quick chance by the Jayhawks could have ended really bad for Dowling Catholic.
Again, good defending, forcing the attacking player wide into a wider position to shoot off from an angle. It's a minute if you force the attacking player wide, you've got more of an option defensively. The angle gets tighter for them. Don't let them cut inside you. Good save there by Aguilar Jaime. That was unbelievable. Look here again. This is the test I think we're talking about. But again, it's well defended.
Ramirez hopeful again that that one was going to trickle down and bounce perfectly on her right foot for a shot opportunity. As he said, well dealt by the defense. It seems to be the story. A lot of through balls, but the defense is very poised, know what to do in that situation, and tall standing defending it against the attacker from the Maroons. Contreras there heading it to the line again. Sager on the ball. Out now to the middle, and a pass was made, but it just bounces toward Molly Bratton there, the senior goalkeeper as we have a player down.
Entering the game
Harkin
for
coming
Maroons,
into the
Elizabeth
game.
Harkin, number 11.
So Harkins coming in, going in up front for Forbes, wearing jersey number 10, has come off. Or Ramirez. I believe that's Ramirez that's come off.
Ramirez has come off as she's
One
done
of
a lot
one
of
of the
work.
210s that Dowling Catholic are trying to confuse us with today.
One of a couple, but good work by Ramirez so far this match. Staying after playing the end of the first half as well.
As you can see, the pressure she's putting on goal on the far side. Physical presence there.
Very strong.
At least now this is a little bit of a rest period for Galloway and Shoop at the back. It's well protected there by Sarah Moore. I don't think
awkward.
Galloway should have just dropped off a bit because Sarah Moore could give her the option to play the ball in. There's a
bit
big
awkward
hole in
there.
behind there, as you can see. Hagen didn't see it because the players closed down as well. So player on the ball. But a massive hole appeared on the far side, which was going to be exposed by Long. And his lucky pressure was put on the ball right here in front of us.
Very
Because if
fortunate.
that ball was played in, what happened is Galloway got pulled in towards us, or actually towards Shoop, creating that space. Just communicate the lines, pass the players on.
Could have been huge for Van Quatham there on the far side. A lot of space cleared, and there wasn't a drop back to cover for it, as we saw there. And the anchor, Maria Long, could have possibly found that, but a good step in by the Dowling defense. As they're trying to possess the ball again in the midfield. Brick on the ball, looking for an attack, sparking it up, but not quite there. As Anna Long, sister of Maria Long, there on the back line, doing a very good job. Getting the clearances, and now Livingston.
I'm going to put a net up just now, play some head tennis.
Love some head tennis.
But that was a good, decent passage of play. The Maroons strung a couple of passes, 4 passes together. Then it's the final pass.
Final pass didn't quite get there on time. 17 minutes to go here from Dowling Catholic. The Maroons trying to form a comeback. Possessing the ball, but not quite creating on the final third yet. A lot of opportunities have arrived, but that strike of luck hasn't quite got there for the home side.
See, in that situation there in the midfield, that ball should have been brought down by Carmichael. She had options to her right. Lovely layoff there by Forbes. But, you know, it's kind of a tired, lethargic swing at the ball. And I know these girls are tired throughout the season. But as you can see, it's moments like that. Look at the strength of the Urbandale Jayhawks as they come in to tackle you.
Brick fighting for the ball in the midfield, earns a foul for her team. You can hear the crowd sort of revitalizing this team that really needs a goal right now with almost 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, but again, look at this. Everyone's dropped a penalty area. You've got all the tall girls down there for Urbandale. Look at the white jerseys lined up. And that's the ball they needed in behind. Keep it just held. But again, the back line just stood still. Time in the flight of the ball. It happened in the first half. It was a problem for Urbandale on that free kick, which was about 40 yards out compared to this one inside the Maroons' own half. They won't side on. Now, is that a weakness they can exploit further into the game with 15 minutes to go?
A little bit of pace showcased by Heidi again as we have a substitution for the Jayhawks. It's going to be their number 13, Alexandra King, the senior. Coming out is going to be Sadie Lithenthal, the sophomore. Very good performance tonight from Lithenthal. As the Maroons trying to create yet again on the side of Urbandale, who cleared the ball efficiently. Looking for Maria Long, a hard challenge there. Arrives a little late, but again, repossessed by the Jayhawks. Mulligan on it. Left-footed pass out. Contreras pushed up. Very far up, but finds Hagen. On the rotation, as Mulligan didn't quite get the ball to her. Miscommunication, or at least good communication, didn't quite get the execution as
Well, I tell you what, it's lucky Hagen did. She was reaching for that ball. Luckily, she didn't technically complete that pass because Long was already bursting through the central area as there was a massive gap that opened up there. And this is where it's going to get critical with 14 minutes to go. The players are getting lethargic. Errors are going to happen. There's a test here now for Hagen.
Hagen still on the ball. It looks like the ball is going to be a goal kick after all. Looked like it could have been a corner. The ball was very even on that 50-50 from Hagar and on the right side Hagen, but it's going to be a goal kick taken by Aguilar Jaime. Sagar there again. Tough assignment against Hagen tonight.
I've been happy with Sagar, actually. She's played really well. Critical tackle there on the block, forcing Hagen wide. Could have been a corner. Officials gave a goal kick. Again, good defending. The matchup was right. See the strength there of Long.
There it is, and a through ball looking for Hagen, who's done that all night, and the goalkeeper really well done there. Lays in the box perfectly to grab it with her hands. Aguilar Jaime yet again.
Sagar, what a relief there. Thank you very much, goalkeeper.
Very much so, because been doing that all night, tracking back and forth. And I was going to ask you, would you say that the back line of the Maroons is a little bit afraid of pushing up because of Maria Long?
I think it's a bit of both. They're a little bit cautious. But what have you got to lose coming up to 12 minutes to go? I would commit maybe an extra player forward for the Maroons. But again, you've got to squeeze that up. Take a risk. The game's about risk. I always tell my players, I'm doing this. If it doesn't work, it's on me. We take a risk. If it works, it's on you guys. You've done well. You know, it's all about the instructions. But it's individual players. Maybe they've been told by JP to do something tactically, but still very cautious. And when you're out there, Juan, you're the one that knows because you're up against that player in 1v1 duels. You know with the pace of the player, and you've got to deal with that.
Looking now at the way that players are shifting toward the far side, a lot of space could be made there for Hagen again on the counter.
Yeah, I've noticed this with Hagen. She doesn't really tuck into the central area defensively and make it compact. She hangs out here, and they look for her on that counter-attack. Maybe it's because Urbandale know that there's some injuries and key players missing from Dowling. But normally you would have that player more inverted in an area where there was some challenge out there, but both players get up, luckily. But in an area where you can block the diagonal ball and you can counter forward as well. As you can see, I believe it's Carmichael coming in. Abby Carmichael. But when you look at it like that, so Sagar's come out from left back. And Carmichael gone into left back.
I believe for the Maroons it's going to be Abby Coleman.
At left back,
Abby Coleman on the left side. Our anthem singer.
A glorious voice. Yeah, Sagar's come out. I think she's had a great night tonight, to be honest with you. She's kept up with Hagen. Maybe it's just time to give her a break and get some fresh legs in here with Coleman. With a little more experience just coming into the game.
They're really trying to get something going on her near side, the left side of the team. With about 10 minutes, a lot of substitutions on that left side we've noticed throughout the match.
And Coleman's more an attacking player. So you can see the switch that has been made here. Sofia Provenza has gone into left back. Coleman's gone into the left-hand side of midfield as a wing back. They've pushed two players up front now. So you've got Forbes up front, partnered with Harkin.
There was the pass, as you mentioned, looking for Forbes. The Maroons making a late push now, trying to tie this game.
I actually think it's a good move just at this point of the game to push two nines high up the field, pin them both up. So this is the time really to test Anna Long and Riley Anderson at the back there for Urbandale. Pin 2 center forwards high up on them in 1v1 situations, 2v2 situations. Right now they've had to deal with one. Maybe push another midfielder up just to pull Mulligan out of position. Like just on the angles, on the half turn, because that could be the creative moments. But the thing is, the players, as soon as they win it, the transition needs to be quick, in possession, space, open it up.
That is the case. It would be good to bring in Ramirez at the moment, but she did look a little bit banged up after a challenge a few minutes earlier. But we've seen Harkinen push up a little bit on the side of Forbes. On
Yeah,
the
you can see he's gone with 2 high up the field now. You can see that. But here I would push Sarah more on the far side. Out of her picture, I'll push her higher up, and then I'll get our the 2 centre backs for the Maroons, one in front, one behind, to deal with Long. And I think they could do that. But you got to have confidence doing it. You've got to be playing that all the time. Isometrical movements at the back. It takes a lot of training. We could watch Man City and Brighton, whoever, Real Madrid all day.
Every team's got to train. As Hagen there couldn't quite get there. Would have been nice to find Contreras, who's playing now in the middle, as we see for Urbandale.
Yeah, and Hagen Long didn't quite get the pass right. As you can see, Hagen just barging through maroon jerseys. So this is the ball played in. Clean that up. That was Forbes going in. This might be the time to, if you can get a bit of pace in behind, maybe go 3 at the back, take a risk, push Sarah more wide on the right-hand side. Play as a wing back, push your 2 high up the field and just go into the wide areas for the last, coming up 5 minutes. You might as well take the risk.
On the attack now, the Jayhawks. Hagen trying to make something out of nothing. Tried to do so, but it's going to be a goal kick for the Maroons. That's basically what's been going on in this afternoon and this night. Hagen trying to make something out of nothing on the attack, and the aggression, the fitness continuously being an engine on the side.
Yeah, and every attack's come down the right-hand side. So if the girls are used to playing with 3 at the back, maybe push Sarah more up, use her pace in the wide area where she's comfortable. Go 3, deal with Hagen. You go maybe 4 in the midfield just to deal with the 4, and really just go for it, you know. I think this is the time to do it, because the threat isn't coming from the far side.
Hard challenge there in the middle. It is going to be called, and in favor of the Jayhawks, who have a set piece, could really take advantage of it. We've been talking about how Dowling Catholic can get back in this game, but with 1 goal at this time, with 6 minutes to go, Urbandale can put the needle in the coffin.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, Urbandale, they've played really well, the Jayhawks. Being really composed. You can see they're playing with confidence. And even at this moment, they just got to stay focused. They've got to concentrate. Don't make the small mistakes, because the small mistakes is what costs you at the end of the day.
It's Alexander King on the set piece. Hagen on the near side could possibly make a run there.
There's a big gap there as well. Nobody's in the gap. That's dangerous.
Low strike, well dealt by the Maroons as they continue to move on the attack.
Ali King recognized that space there as well. If it was driven in hard, a little deflection in that. You know, Ali King has just come back from injury. 3 weeks off. She's been managed by Coach Jess. She's glad to have her back in. Cabin for Sadie, who's also been injured. So she's just managing 2 key players there. Good management.
Very much so. Key players for this Jayhawks team trying to get their 2nd goal. Low ball. It's going to be again in favor of Urbandale, the visiting side, who's very happy to be on the lead right now, but the job is not quite done yet. So we have a substitution, one that we spoke about.
It's not coming quite yet. Urbandale want to get their throw in.
Definitely want to have Ramirez back for the last 5 minutes of this match. Heidi. Big challenge there. And gets the possession, the Jayhawk player. Heidi a little bit banged up after that challenge.
Yeah, Heidi took a bit of a smack there. I'm not sure if she checked her shoulder, but I believe I'm trying to get clarification on the play, but the starting position of the left back was perfect. I believe it is goal. Was higher up the field. Well read, timing was perfect. So we talk about positional play and just a sense of an awareness in reading the game.
Abby Coleman, they're pushing up for the challenge. Ball is in favor and in possession of the Jayhawks. Ramirez still not able to come in with 4 minutes to go in this match. No rush from the Jayhawk side now as the time is slowly going by. They see at the end of the tunnel 10 wins so far in the season, the Jayhawks.
Is this going to take the matchup between the two to 11 to the Maroons and 2 to the Jayhawks? At this point it does, unless something miraculous happens. There you go, Mulligan. Just composed. That's the key, is being composed under pressure. And that's exactly what she's done there. But it seems like this is the way it's going to work for the Maroons if they can get the ball in behind. But then they need to pin the two forwards higher.
You don't want to make a mistake here. Coleman on the challenge there. Very risky movement there on the back line by Dowling Catholic. By Urbandale there on the rotation. Good pressure by Dowling Catholic.
It's going to be the end of the game before Ramirez gets in.
We're still waiting on that substitution to happen. 3 minutes left. Here on the Central Iowa Sports Network, I'm Juan Mendez on play-by-play, joined alongside Justin Forster, bringing you coverage of this match. And as you mentioned, big headline, the all-time matchup for these two teams would be the second win for Urbandale if they're able to achieve it.
Yeah, and like I said, at this rate, it looks like it's going to go in that direction. I think if the Maroons can get Ramirez on and play as a double 9, because they don't seem to be getting in the wide areas at this point. It's got to go feet and then through the gaps. Split Urbandale open and get him play that ball, final ball through the gaps. Now this is where the key is, the set play. Sarah Moore has a long throw. This is the time to get Ramirez in.
As she said, there she is. Ramirez comes in.
Ramirez, yeah.
Coming out was Provenza. Ball floated in dangerously in the box.
And here's a corner.
And here is a corner.
I would send everybody in there and get the goalkeeper on the halfway line.
Only one player back for Dowling Catholic. 2 players back. Staying back is Brick as well. But this is where you want to go all in. You're already home. You got to go all in.
Honestly, I'll get them all in there and get the goalkeeper on the halfway line.
Ball floated in into the box. Ducked right under was a player there rotating. The ball just skips past everybody in possession of the Jayhawks with about minute 30 to go in this match. The locals are down. The home side is down. And smiling right now are the sides of the Jayhawks fans. And what has been a really good attendance and crowd tonight.
I tell you, there must be a lot of frustration there. That was a corner chance. I believe it was the first corner for the Maroons of the match. And there comes the cover. Look, it's shielded out. Ramirez just lurking.
Very, very well done.
And this is where the line needs to step up higher, step up gear. They've got to keep pushing. But you see how Urbandale is set up. You can see they're structured well organized. Coach Jess has done a fantastic job with them, and I believe with them going into state, sub-states and that, they've got to get through that first, but I think they have a chance of going all the way to state.
As we've spoken of, this team seems very complete from top to bottom, from back line to the front, with Maria Long, their scorer, an anchor there in the middle, and Mulligan. And as we've seen, a good performance by their back line. Just as you said, shielding the ball, being very physical and strong. As 20 seconds left in this match. A last gasp chance by Dowling Catholic. Maroon sending everybody forward, as we said. Going in was Ida looking for the challenge. Mulligan tough again in that midfield, fighting for the ball. And a foul is called in favor of the Jayhawks as the time goes down. After all, Urbandale Jayhawks get their 10th win of the season and move to 10-6 as they visited and conquered tonight at Dowling Catholic. Very good performance as we've seen and as we've spoken of throughout the night, beating the home side, who now moves to 8-6. Dowling Catholic dropping a few points to very good teams, but one team stood above, and they very much deserved the win tonight.
Yeah, they're comfortable. We're talking about Urbandale Jayhawks, comfortable going, I would say, into sub-state with a lot of confidence. You can see it booming with the players. There's a lot of excitement out there. Credit to Coach Jess. She's done a marvelous job with this side, and her assistants, Rachel Vanderhart, done a great job. JP with Maroons. What he's going to be looking to do now is keeping the players healthy, getting all the injured players back in, getting a full squad back in together. Although there were players, Anlika wasn't there. Anlika's a quality player. She's strong. She had another commitment. Julia Moore's injured. Hopefully she'll be back. But the depth is just very limited now with all those injuries. And I think the key going into sub-states for Dowling Catholic is to get the players fit. And I think that's key.
Definitely so. As we spoke of, their sub-states are coming up. Both teams trying to get everybody healthy, back in fitness, as we said. But that is going to conclude senior night from Dowling Catholic. The Maroons, a great performance for both teams. One that was very much injured, but again, coached its way into a great matchup, great performance. Nonetheless, the Jayhawks came victorious. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Juan Mendez alongside Justin Vorster here for the Central Iowa Sports Network. Thank you and good night.